Hey guys, I'm going to go ahead and do a live reading tonight because I decided to stay in and I did not announce this. So I have no idea if anybody will even show up, but we're going to give it a shot and see, oh, here are a couple people here. All right. So I just started and there are a few people in the room. So that's a good sign. Hi guys. All right, so I decided what we're going to do tonight is, because I haven't done it in a while, we're going to do a reading for divine compliments. And I thought maybe we could do a you and them, or we can do messages. If you guys have a preference, we can make it up on the fly, because I just decided to come and do this because I decided I don't really feel like leaving the house tonight. So thank you. Welcome. Thank you for stopping in. And I'm just shuffling some cards. Also want to thank all my new subscribers because I have quite a few. And of course, all my existing subscribers, super glad to have you guys. I do have a reading special for the new year that's going on until the 7th, which is 2 more days. And you can find that on my website, which is IamEmilyGear.com. And once this video is uploaded completely, I will probably go ahead and put it in the comments. But that's only good for the next 2 days, and it's to go over some of the themes for the year ahead for you personally, okay? So you can check that out on my website. It's only $30, so I made it pretty affordable for everybody. It is just an MP3 reading, and I usually like to do my reads face-to-face or like on the phone or on Zoom, but this makes it so I can do a lot of them, okay? All right, so let's do a you and them reading. So we'll start with them because that's what we're all interested in. You might find that you resonate with the opposite side, which is totally fine. You might also find that you resonate with both, which is also totally fine, and is actually probably a really good sign that you're getting yourself balanced out. I will say, obviously, tonight and tomorrow is the partial solar eclipse, so I'm going to kind of preface it by saying who knows what's going to come out. Just because of that, the energies are crazy. I know I had kind of a rough day. I don't know about you guys. So, all right, let's get some cards going here. This is for them. Divine compliments, please. Almost there. I can feel it coming. Okay. All right. Okay. This is interesting. So I am getting the 6 of Pentacles with the 5 of Cups. So since we're talking them, I feel like they are working on whatever. Okay, so they know that they need balance in their lives. They know that they don't have an appropriate balance at this time. I do feel that they are struggling with and trying to overcome a sense of guilt or grief involved in whatever changes they're making in order to bring their lives into a better balance. This light is kind of terrible, and I apologize. Let's see if I can turn it. There we go. It's a little better. I am also getting that some of them are really in need of balancing out their literal financial situation, that for some of them, it's almost like a feeling of shame that if they were to try to move forward at this time in their current financial situation, that it's just they're harboring a lot of shame surrounding that it's not stronger, it's not more stable. So we feel like this may be the masculine energy that we're talking about for the them. I mean, I guess it makes sense since I'm a feminine energy and I pulled for them, so it would be. There's a lot of conditioning to be overcome here. just the idea of the way that money is earned, the way that prosperity is made, is kind of an old idea. Or it's not an old idea. Like, obviously, we all want abundance, but like, I think that they're working to overcome the the way that they felt it should have been done or they should be doing it. It might have to do with just sort of these old ideas of um, the masculine energy supporting the family and being a breadwinner or something like that. Like, of course, that's great, but we have other ideas as well. Um, Obviously, women can work, and money. It's almost like you work smarter, not harder. Now there are other ways to bring in abundance. There are more energetic and fifth dimensional ways to bring in abundance rather than just working really freaking hard until you have no energy left. So there's a lot going on with balancing not only their lives in general, but also I'm just getting a lot about the financial situation. What? Okay, so I am actually. This one is taking me to financial stuff as well. We have the Four of Pentacles with the Six of Wands, and I do feel that there is um, a victory coming up regarding their finances and their financial situation. That they're actually trying to save up. They're trying to make it so that they're not. I get the feeling that some of them feel that if they were to leave their present situation, whatever that might be, whether it's like a job that's not working for them or a relationship or like a family situation, someone living with parents and things like that, um, that were feeling, as shown in these first two cards, that it's almost like they want to make sure they have a nest egg of some sort, or like a savings. Uh, they are holding on to these old beliefs, okay? So that does play into the last set of cards that we were just looking at, but they're also working on making this a stable, coming from a stable position, because they really don't want to step into a new life without the stability. And I do get that they're having success at that, that they are receiving some kind of, it could be recognition at work, it could be a raise, it could be a promotion, um, it could be a winning lottery ticket. Like, a number of things are happening for them to help stabilize their financial situation to allow them to move forward. I just find it really interesting that, like, you haven't seen the third column yet, but they all involve pentacles. And it's like, for a really long time, I feel like there was so much indecision based upon emotions and things like that. And now it's almost like I'm just getting my shit together, is kind of like what I'm getting out of all of this. Okay. Um, they are going to overcome all this stuff, whether this is for them, whether this is the need for a savings, or this is a need to overcome the desire to hold on to everything, all the old, whether it's the old paradigm, the old life, the old way of living, the old way of earning money, like clocking in and clocking out, as opposed to using some more innovative uh, ways of earning, etc. So that's still good, because winning at that, right? This is like winning at life. Um, Finally, for them, we'll pull a few more cards for them, because this is going really fast. We have the Page of Wands with the Nine of Pentacles. And let me just see what I'm getting for that. I'm kind of feeling, I know this is kind of weird, but it's like I'm feeling like they're excited to gain this financial independence from whatever they were in. Okay, so we might be talking again about a job that they felt trapped in, or a relationship where they, felt trapped because they needed two incomes, or they felt burdened by a home or something, or they felt like they need to be living with their parents. Those are the situations that are kind of coming up right now. And so it's like, I feel like they're kind of excited about this new degree of financial independence that's coming up for them. Some of them are also sort of excited to be single again. Some of them who are leaving, the karmic situations or whatever. Sorry, my back is suddenly killing me. I wonder what that means. It's on my right side too, and we may be talking masculine energies. It's probably the idea of supporting so much or feeling like they have to support so much. And that's why my back on the right side is just like suddenly killing me. Some of you might be hearing from this person and they might be giving you sort of letting you know what's going on in their life. I feel like it's coming through in a sort of a friendly conversation. I don't feel like this is some big expose or some big like revelation of someone's feelings or something like that. But I do feel like that there's sort of a friendly but probably very quick conversation about the fact that they're becoming more financially stable, that they're getting wings. Like I always see this bird as like getting wings and like sort of taking flight. So it's so weird that this is so surrounding like the physical plane. It's so surrounding finances and money. And so that seems to be the big challenge for whoever them is. So probably the masculine energy, but it could go either way. Okay. Whoever is not you, unless you're resonating with this for your life, then it could be whatever. You know what I'm saying. I don't want to belabor the point there. Let me get a few more cards from a different deck. Let's find out more what's going on with them. For those of you who just joined, this is a you and them reading for divine complements, i.e. twin flames or divine counterparts or whatever you want to call it. Could be soulmates, I guess. Any kind of divine union type thing. I'm so elegant. I guess that's why I'm sitting on YouTube reading cards Saturday night in my pajamas. So, okay, let's see. This is the them energy. The cards for them and what's going on for them right now. Let's get a little more about since this is so much about finances, let's get a little more about feelings. Hopefully this will show us something. Okay, so we've got the third eye chakra here, and we've got trapped in fear. I feel like some of them are still a little blocked in their third eye chakra because they're having trouble seeing beyond the dungeon that they've like set up for themselves. Okay, like the dungeon that they're living in, so to speak, of their own fears, of their own making. Right? It's not. I mean, there may be outside influences or other people or other situations in their lives that make things very difficult. But the point of this card is that, like, your fear is an illusion, and you're trapping yourself in your own fear. So I do feel like there's a little bit of a blockage in the third eye, that it is like, they're unable to see past their present reality. They need to be able to clear this, to learn to see into truth, and to see clearly what is possible and what is actually ahead of them, rather than getting so caught up in things of their own making, which is what's happening here. Okay. Just in case some of you are resonating with this side, let's get some advice. Let's get some advice. Oh, okay. Got harmony as the advice. And I'm really just hearing that this is the Lover's card in that deck, and this is about choosing love over fear. It's like you can choose fear any day, and you can decide that you're going to be terrified. Listen, I do this all the time. You can decide that you're going to be scared to do something and make that choice, and nothing will happen. You will remain here, okay? No worse, no better. Maybe worse, but definitely no better. Probably no worse, no better. It's like a lack of movement. This is like being stuck, okay? But you've got a choice of love or fear. And so the choice needs to be every time love, whether that's love of self and it should first be love of self to move you out of whatever situation is hurting you or is holding you back. And that situation resides in your own head. It's got to do with your own personal constraints that you've put on yourself. Now, are they all your fault? No. Who knows where they came from? They could be from a past life. They could come from childhood. They could come from any kind of conditioning, societal conditioning, whatever. But the fact is that we need to learn to see through that fear and choose love over it. And that's really the only way through. And it starts with love of self, to love yourself enough to clear those illusions away. Because who wants to live in a lie? Nobody. Nobody wants to live in a lie. And we all do it. I do it to myself. I talk to people to help me because it's very hard to see your own problems sometimes. And they're all like, dude, you're lying to yourself. So I get it. It is super tough. But we do have to start seeing deeper, looking into seeing the truth of the situation below the surface or past the physical, past the 3D. And that is a simple choice. Let's get a little more on their emotional situation right now. So this is for them. What's their emotional situation right now? What's their emotional situation right now? It's just for the collective. What's their emotional situation? Wow. Authority. So this leads me to believe we probably are talking about the masculine here in general, although, of course, every man and woman has both masculine and feminine within them. I have to say that before someone gets worried and corrects me. And this is emotionally, I feel like it's not only about taking control and mastering your own emotions, but I feel like it's also about setting some very important boundaries about who and when and how you're going to expend your emotions. It's almost pulling back your energy in some way, and that in itself is empowerment. And this is really profound empowerment. I'm also hearing somehow, because I don't normally get manifestation with this card, but I am hearing that there is some degree of manifestation power that's coming about through the ability to channel and control one's emotions. So it's almost like applying one's emotions in a very structured way in order to accomplish a goal, whatever that might be. So it might actually involve, mastering yourself in one situation and releasing yourself in another. Do you know what I mean? So there's a certain kind of control involved in choosing. Again, here's about choosing how or where or upon whom you're going to expend your energy or your emotional capital. And the reason I keep talking emotions is because that was the question I asked before this card came out. Okay, for anybody just joining. All right, let's get. I want to get a few oracle cards to go with that too, because then we have to do the you part. Let's see, oracle cards. What do I want to use? Okay, here's Indigo Angels by Doreen Virtue. So we'll get some Indigo Angel cards just to get a little more information on them, what's going on with them at this time, or whenever you're seeing this. Doesn't have to be right now. So if you're just joining, we're doing you versus them for divine compliments. And right now we're doing them, and I shouldn't say I'm like talking we, but I feel that is probably the masculine energy we're looking at right now. But either one of these could resonate with you. Both of them could resonate. That's totally fine. So let's get a few more cards for them and what they are working on right now. What are they working on right now? Indigo angel cards are good for that. What are they working on right now? If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask them. My chat section over there is dead. Nobody said anything. I don't know what to do with myself when nobody's talking. Okay, that one tried to come out. What are they working on? Divine purpose. So I feel like not only are some people working on, we're talking divine compliments, we're talking about divine mission, we're talking about mission work, and that's a huge one. So a lot of them are probably trying to figure that out. Like, how do they fit into this? Maybe they see, that their counterpart has a purpose, and they're like, how do I even fit into this? We're talking so much about, for them, we're talking so much about like financial security and coming to a place of financial security and to be able to support. And it's like, that may be their purpose, or not necessarily their purpose, but the way that they are doing that might be changing. So now they're asking themselves, what am I supposed to be doing? How am I supposed to be pulling in abundance in order to, play this role or whatever? They might not even be thinking about it as far as like divine purpose. They might just be in like, how the hell am I supposed to be making, money and supporting this situation? So divine purpose is playing a big role there. And it could be that I'm feeling that some of them are experiencing this feeling of not being good enough, like somehow they don't trust, or they don't believe in themselves enough to feel that they can be a part of their divine purpose, or a divine purpose, period. Like, some of them know I'm getting that pain in my, like, the right side of my back again. I just feel like this is a big burden for them, like not knowing how to move forward in this divine purpose, or even what it is, or feeling like they can't accomplish it or do it. There's a little bit of that, but I am going to say, like, I keep going back to these cards here, the Six of Wands with the Emperor, and I do think they're overcoming it. I really do think so. So this is not crushing defeat or anything. I think it might just be a few of them feeling that, not everybody, because this is just coming up as an issue, not as like everyone feeling negatively about it. Some of them might be discovering their divine purpose right now, or feeling really, really empowered. Okay, so let's get another card for what's going on with them. What are they working on? That's what we're doing. What are they working on? What are they working on at this time? This one wanted to come out. Self-care. Okay, that's super important. That goes back to the idea of self-love and balancing out their lives, which we talked about in the very beginning. And I feel like for some of these people, self-care equals setting boundaries with individuals who have been draining them. And that goes back to this, where I was talking about how you know, this card came out for how they're doing emotionally. And I feel like this is all about setting boundaries and kind of controlling their own flow of energy so that other individuals are not able to take advantage of them anymore. And like, I feel like that is a big step um, in empowerment for these individuals. So that's really important. These are both really empowering cards. These are people who are not, they're not in the beginning stages of figuring out what's going on here. These are people who know that there is really something big changing in their life. And this is both purpose wise, I feel, and in their relationships, all kinds of relationships, not just, you know, not just a romantic relationship, but, you know, people, family members who need to be, I just heard blocked, literally. There are probably some family members who need to be blocked, but making the choice to set boundaries with people that you would ordinarily have allowed to leech your energy in the past, okay? For those of you who just joined, we're doing you and them for divine compliments. We're finishing up them right now. Okay. A few more. Okay. Interesting. I pulled 3 oracle cards out of this huge pile that I had. I have this like massive pile of like, I don't know, 5 or 6 decks of Doreen Virtue cards. And the 3 that I pulled for them, number 1 is Ostara, fertility. It's the perfect time for you to start new projects, access new ideas, and give birth to new conditions. And so that's kind of what we're talking about, is that they really are trying to make this new start and really are trying to get themselves stabilized to begin something new, and they're excited about it. So that is very fitting. The next is Bridget, don't back down. And I'm really feeling that heavily because of all of the boundaries that I feel that they are setting with individuals in their lives that are draining them. I also feel like this is don't back away from your purpose. Like don't lose, you know, sight of what you're doing here, and don't like get yourself. We pulled out trapped in fear earlier, and talked about the need to see. It came out with this card, talking about the need to see the truth through the fear. And I feel like this is all about that. Don't back down. Don't back down to the fear. Okay. And finally, find the blessing in your current situation. And I've found that this is the only way to do this stuff. Like, if you're making big changes that are uncomfortable and you're having to set boundaries, you must do it with love. You must do it with a positive attitude, because if you start projecting negativity on all of it, it automatically traps you in your own fear. Automatically. You've trapped yourself and defeated yourself before you've even started. So it's important, even if you're going through a difficult situation, that you approach it with balance and love in your heart. All right. So this is like a tough one to remember, but so, so important. All right. So let's get on to the you section. I'm just going to take a swig of water. Just going to scoot all those over. Okay, so these cards, actually I'll use a different deck entirely so that we can get all new cards. It's the Thelma deck. Okay, so this is going to be for you, and or it could be for them if you were resonating with you. No, if you were resonating with them, this could be for, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Sorry, guys. You know what I mean. Guess I should just start calling this person A and person B. I don't know. All right, so the other person in this situation. Couple more shuffles, guys, almost there. Well, okay. So the bottom of the deck here, I didn't do the bottom of the deck on the last one, but whatever. So the bottom of the deck here is the 9 of Pentacles again, okay? And underneath that is the Devil, and underneath that is the Ace of Swords. Underneath that is the King of Wands. So I feel like there's a very strong underlying energy of breaking free from things holding you back, seeing the truth, and becoming empowered. For me, this is quite a lot about breaking free and becoming independent, self-sufficient. So if anybody is going through needing to break away from any kind of karmic situation, whether it's a relationship, job, or I don't know, friendship. I mean, that would be a relationship too, but you know what I mean. Then that's the underlying energy here. We actually start with the Tower with the 2 of Wands. So here, I almost feel like for some people, this is going to be about an option being removed. Okay. So if you are trying to choose between a couple things, I feel like an option is removed here. It almost makes the choice for you. I feel like it's possible. Why did I just hear that? Some of you guys have been waiting to hear that. So maybe you've been waiting to hear this, but this is for this person. It's like the choice is obvious at this point. The other thing that I'm hearing is that more than just like the choice becoming obvious, it's like an obstacle is really, really profoundly removed. So this is kind of a big event, a sudden event, and an obstacle leaves your path so that you can proceed forward in the direction that you are most drawn toward. With the bird flying toward this one wand, I'm feeling like you know which way you needed to go, but this obstacle has now been cleared, whatever it is. Okay. For others, I feel like this is a huge healing. Okay, like you could have released something huge with this eclipse, or in the last couple weeks or whatever, but it's like this feels like potentially a huge healing, which allowed you, which essentially was the obstacle in your path, okay, that got removed. So whether this is you or them, I mean, it can go either way. So that's happening. I mean, I think that's really positive. To me, yes, there's this huge explosion event, but whatever that might be, it could be positive, it could be negative. But at the same time, this is the thing that makes movement possible. It makes it possible for you to go forward. Okay, make a choice and take a step. As soon as I freaking say that, the next two cards are the Eight of Swords with the High Priestess. And it's almost like, to me, this builds upon these last two cards because I feel like this is being in the knowing that you're in control of your own destiny, that you are the one that keeps you trapped. Literally, like it's the same as this trapped in fear card that the other person got. So it's like this mirroring of the energies. You know, this person. Actually, this is very interesting. The other person got trapped in fear with the third eye chakra, right? This person has gotten trapped in fear with the high priestess. And to be honest with you, I feel like those are the same. They're really close to being the same thing. And I feel like, you know, but this one, I feel like, whereas I felt like this one needed to begin to see truth, I feel like this one is beginning to see truth or has begun seeing truth, and the ways that in which you are holding yourself back and you're understanding your own responsibility for the feeling of being tied up. Maybe it's because, you know, more than just the third eye, I attribute a sense of wisdom to the high priestess here, even if it's hidden wisdom. But it's kind of coming out into the light the way that she's, you know, holding this pomegranate out. I feel that it's being illuminated in a sense, and that now you're beginning to understand what it is that's holding you back, and that it's mental. It really is truly mental in this card because it's swords. And with the eight, I feel, you know, because it's an eight, I really do feel like this is some kind of karmic lesson, that whatever this is some kind of karmic lesson. And obviously you will need to use your intuition, your discernment, and make, you know, make appropriate choices, with the understanding that, you know, this is all you're doing. You have the power to remove yourself at any given time. Some of you are being held back by a mother figure or a grandmother figure. Some of you are being held back by your own, well, I was going to say, oh, some of you are being held back by your own fear, which is actually implied in this card, but I'm also getting that even more from here, like a very deep sense of fear and just terror, dread of moving forward. Okay, so that's something that you want to look closer at and just realize that, like, fear is an illusion, and you're able to move out of that at any time that you want. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't consequences for that, but they're likely not the same kind of fear, or likely not like you're imagining. Okay, when the Eight of Swords comes up. Finally, for this person, we have the Nine of Cups with the Seven of Wands. And this is somebody who, through the realization of the way that they have been trapping themselves through this huge healing event or removal of obstacles, I feel that they're fighting very hard for their dreams. Whatever it is that they're dreaming about, I do feel that they're fighting very, very hard for it. Because we've got the Nine of Cups with the Seven of Wands. It could be that this person is fighting this mother figure or grandmother figure, in moving toward what it is that they are desiring or hoping for. There's a sense here that there's not a complete picture of that which you are wanting or desiring. Okay, so it's almost like you're willing to fight for it, but you don't know the full picture. And I actually feel like that's good. I actually feel like you make progress because you're not nailing down all the details of the situation, and therefore in like hindering the universe and delivering your dream to you. Okay, so the most effective way to fight for this dream is to claim it, right? But maybe leave much of the how and when and the I don't know, the details. Leave some of the details to the divine, to the universe, so that it can be delivered to you in a more profound fashion. So let's get an idea of the emotional situation of this person. Let's see emotional situation of this person. How are they feeling? How is this person feeling? How is this person feeling? Okay. So this person's wrapping up an emotional cycle. This is like the equivalent of the Eight of Cups. So I feel like, you know, they're just sick and tired of something and they are withdrawing emotionally for a time. It doesn't mean that they're forever withdrawing, but this does suggest an end of some cycle. So whether this is you or them, or both of you, some cycle is completing and it's successfully completing. So that's really a positive thing, even if, you know, in some ways it's like this is about being maybe a little fed up. It's almost like allowing the tides to go in and out because we're looking because of the card, obviously. So this is just allowing that tide to withdraw and this cycle ending. The in and out of the tides is like a cycle. Okay. It's natural. It is, and I really feel like it's a successful, positive completion of some kind of emotional cycle in your life. Some people are completing. Some people are releasing their divine complement or twin or whatever you want to call it, just emotionally to an extent, like not completely, like you've still chosen them, but they're releasing them so that they can, like the tides, go out and come back in, right, on their own volition as part of a natural cycle. Because, like, if you were to try to hold on to the tide and keep it to you, it just wouldn't work. It would just be a terribly frustrating, fruitless, and a huge failure, right? So it's like you have to let it go to let it come back to you. Um, that's the biggest thing I'm getting for this, that there may be some releasing of the attachments to that relationship. Okay. There could be releasing of attachments or releasing of other things in your life, like, you know, like the removal of whatever this obstacle was. Okay. It could be a family member, friend, other relationship, job. Same stuff as every freaking reading. Like I always list that, but you guys know by now what it is that could be happening. But the strongest thing I am feeling is like the detaching from the other person in this situation for a period of time. Let's get a couple more cards for how they are feeling. Okay. That one also went face up. Okay. This says disconnect and wait, discontent. Sorry, the font is weird. Discontent and boredom. Oh goodness, this came out with more cards than I realized. Discontent with and boredom came out with triumph and success, the base chakra, and love begins. Okay. So I feel like there is this, it's almost like this Nine of Cups energy where there's this hoping for these new beginnings, these better things, these more profound experiences of love and or truth and clarity. Okay. So to me, you know, in the cup, or this card traditionally is the Four of Cups, and you'll see someone focusing on the ground while the one big cup is in the sky. And I just feel like that is when you are just so freaking sick and tired of and bored with the crap that is going on, that you know, you might be daydreaming for these new beginnings. Uh, I feel like because the base chakra came up, it could be that this person is really needing to ground themselves more because their head is too much sort of floating around in the realm of I just keep wanting to say discontent. I was trying to come up with a different word, so I wasn't just reading it off of here, but it's like the realm of being like bored, like ennui, you know what I mean? And they're just daydreaming, thinking of these things, but they're ungrounded, and it makes it very difficult, I think, at times to move forward. So they do need to ground themselves a little bit more. But the positive in this is that they do pretty much, they do know what they want, and that kind of comes up too again with the Nine of Cups, that they know what they want, even if they don't know all the details of it, or maybe are not trying to force all the details of it, which was my thought when that card came out. They still know what it is, and so that is like a big step forward from, you know, where we had been months and months ago. But the grounding is now important because we're starting to see the other person, the other individual involved in this relationship, really grounding it into the physical, trying to bring out, if you're here for the early part of the reading, trying to find the stability in the physical world and create the abundance necessary um, to carry this relationship, to carry the connection forward, right? So this is like a sort of a need to connect in that way. Um, because this person has gotten, the second person here has gotten a lot of cups cards. So I feel like they're a lot in their emotions right now, whereas this one is more grounded. So it's like, you know, I find that one compliment is often heavy in certain areas, like whether they're the very, you know, rational, grounded one. The other compliment is maybe kind of airy fairy. So it would be great if we could all just sort of balance up. So the grounding is something needed for this second person. Next, we will go back to the Indigo Angel cards and get an idea of what this person is working on right now. What is this person working on right now? This one. One more, please. What is this person working on right now? Something else. I don't know which one it was. That's right. All right. So these kind of go together. It's share your wisdom and expression. So I do feel like there's a need. This person is really working on obviously knowing how to express what they're going through. And since there's so much in the cups section here, I feel like, or the cup suit, sorry. I feel like they're trying to learn how to better express their emotions. Um, both to the twin, but also because I feel like this is about leaning into discomfort. This is going to be about, you know, making these emotional endings here, like we were talking about before, making these endings and stepping away from different things in a compassionate way, like using your expression in order to express boundaries with compassion, I feel like is very important right now. And share your wisdom kind of falls into that category as well. Um, it may be that this is part of your, the other person got divine purpose. And it could be that this is part of your divine purpose, to be able to share that wisdom that you've gained through this process, and to help others along the way, to share compassion, to help teach others even while setting boundaries with them. I mean, I feel like setting boundaries is a teaching tool anyway. So while expressing those boundaries, sharing the wisdom of why and how this benefits everyone, not just the boundary setter. Okay. So it's almost like the sense of balance coming in, along with, obviously, we were talking about the Ace of Swords before showing up. So that's also about expression and wisdom and communication. All right. So I feel like that is probably a really important part of what this person is going through at the moment. So I'm just going to grab a few oracle cards here for this other person. 1, 2, 3. Okay. This kind of makes sense. So first we have White Tara, sensitivity. And I was just talking about expressing compassion. I just feel like being sensitive to yourself and to other people is so important at this time, okay? Because everybody is a raw nerve. Everybody is raw. This is like, not only are there crazy energies going around, but everybody is going through so much and changing so much and purging so much and lifting their vibration so much. Even people that you don't think are going through it are going through it in some sense, because we're all human beings, right? It doesn't even matter, if you know what this is all about or not. So sensitivity. Also, you're becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations, and chemicals. Back to the boundaries, setting the boundaries and creating an environment in which you can, or this person can flourish. So this is what this person, whether this is you or the other person, is working on right now. Second, we have be gentle with yourself. Archangel Michael, please guide me in treating myself with gentle, nurturing love in everything I speak, everything I think, speak, and do. Help me know that I deserve this compassion. I release any feelings of guilt to you so that I may experience lasting inner peace. This is the third time compassion has come up in the last minute and a half. So I feel like this is a very important message for this person, and really for everyone. Like, there's no reason why compassion should not be at the forefront of everyone's mind right now, considering everything everyone's going through, especially all the people who are leaving situations. Both of these individuals are leaving situations that they have trapped themselves in, and so compassion is so key in nurturing and being a custodian of that relationship with this other person. Okay. And finally, we have Mother Mary. Expect a miracle. Have faith that your prayers have been heard and are answered. And I so feel like this is the Nine of Cups energy. Sorry, my light is too bright and you can't really see the cards. This is that Nine of Cups energy that I was talking about. Like, expect this miracle, but don't try to outline it so much that the universe can't give it to you, right? So allow. That's all I'm going to say is allow. Allow the universe to bring it to you. So say what it is that you want, right? And make your profound choices, but try to leave the how, when, and all the other little details up to the universe, so that you don't block your own wish from being granted. Expect the miracle, though. Expect it. It'll happen. Guys, does anybody have any questions before I sign off? Otherwise, I'm going to end the reading. I don't really see too much any conversation. So if you do have personal questions, I'm happy to answer. Otherwise, I'm going to give it a minute and then call it a night. Thank you guys for coming on and watching. I really, really appreciate it. I didn't even announce this one, so I wasn't sure if anybody would show. All right. Seeing nothing, I am going to go ahead and close the reading for tonight with so many thanks. I really appreciate all you guys. If you're just jumping on, please go ahead and start at the beginning. And let me know what you think, if this resonates with your current situation. And I can't wait to see you guys all again, okay? Talk to you soon. Bye.